What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We called it yesterday, Shady. Remember I put the U.S. code for sedition over that CIA military Democrat video of them wanting to have the CIA military industrial complex, if you will, all of the armed services to reject President Trump, the commander-in-chief's orders. And that is, in fact, sedition, as basically confirmed by Donald J. Trump. But you heard it here first, Shady.
Yeah, and he told you about it, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He told everybody about it, and this is where we are. This is currently where we're at, and I think this is a big reason that you got such a massive download of information a number of years ago, because navigating what you're currently seeing with all of these people that are turning on Trump, in line with all of these people that are acting like Epstein is the most important thing in the world, in line with all of those people coming out and telling the military that they do not have to obey orders. This is absolutely insane. And you guys all got a sneak peek at what was coming up a long time ago.
Yeah, and so, guys, we called it too. Let's go ahead and let's start from the beginning, and we'll play the video again, Shady, because I think people need to understand, if you missed it, in case you missed it, right? We're gonna play it for you again. No worries, we got you, fam. All right, so this is my post yesterday at 9:15 a.m. Okay, 9:15 a.m. yesterday. And my post was, this is sedition, 18 U.S. Code 2387, activities affecting armed forces generally, criminalizes knowingly advising, counseling, or urging any member of the U.S. military to disobey, desert, or refuse lawful orders with intent to interfere with the military operations or loyalty, guys. And here, let's just play it again, guys, because you need to see it. This is sedition.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the
Pesky Q-proof, Chatelaine.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
your vigilance is critical
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Don't give up the ship, huh? How about I voted for the ship and President Donald J. Trump, and what order exactly was illegal? I don't think there are any orders that are illegal. In fact, President Donald J. Trump knows that it must be done right to the letter of the law, and that's what he is using, the letter of the law, not gaslighting and lying sacks of crap, Shady.
Well, look at who was talking there. Look at the associations that they have with the intelligence community and understand the old guard. Okay. They said at the end, do not give up the ship. What does that mean? Huh? Are we all out to sea trying to find our way back to land? Is that not what's going on? The democracy is the ship. Don't give up the ship.
That's right.
Democracy is their psyop. Don't give up the ship. The only time that you as a military person can disobey a direct order is if you know that the person that's giving you that order is giving you an order that is contrary to an order that his superior has given him. That's the only time that you can disobey a direct order. In other words, if the president says something and your commander says something different, okay, that is a situation where you can disobey a direct order. So in all reality, these people are trying their best to to assert to the public that they're trying to get the public on board with this, is what they were trying to do. And Donald Trump has come out today, guys, and Jeff's getting ready to show you we're one day away from it, and he's already telling you exactly what we told you yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, wow. And let's go to
Big time. This is not little bitty stuff, guys. You know, all these people, these little ankle biters that have been able to do nothing for the last 3 months other than like pretend like they're solving Charlie Kirk's murder, which they aren't, or saying that using as a cudgel against Donald Trump. They've done nothing at all but try to gin up this type of rhetoric from both sides.
Yeah. So let's let me see. Let me go to where he starts it right here. Okay. So this is President Donald J. Trump. 3 hours ago on True Social, he posts the Washington Examiner article, and we'll go look at that in a second. But it's called seditious behavior at the highest level of each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Wow, guys. So that's interesting. And their words cannot be allowed to stand. We don't have a country anymore. An example must be set, President Donald J. Trump. And here's the article that he's referring to on True Social. This is the Democrat veterans in Congress urge service members to refuse unspecified unlawful orders. Okay, so that was worded very well. There are no unlawful orders that your president is giving to anybody. But this is the half dozen Democrat veteran Congress released a joint video urging the U.S. Secret Service members to disobey unlawful orders, and they did not expect that what those would be. They did not specify what those are. This is Senator Elise Slotkin. She's a Democrat from Michigan. Mark Kelly, Democrat from Arizona. Jason Crow, Democrat from Colorado. Maggie Goodlander, Democrat from New Hampshire. Chris DeLuzio, Democrat from PA. And Chrissy Houlihan, Democrat from PA. And said that these are threats to our Constitution, and they're coming from right here at home. They repeatedly urged military and intelligence personnel to refuse illegal orders. None of the Democrats in the video specified what illegal orders that they should be concerned about, or what they want you to believe or what to do if they believe they are given one. And so there's nothing there. They're ridiculous. These people are insane. And President Trump went on, let's keep going, to look at what happened here. So this is the original post. And then he starts posting people that responded to the Washington Examiner. Why aren't they under arrest for sedition? Thrown out of their offices. Enough is enough. It's called seditious conspiracy, and every one of them should be be frog marched out of their homes at 3 a.m. with Fox News cameras filming the whole thing. We got another one right here that Donald Trump reposted. This was, I think they should be charged with sedition. Also, save those tapes and run with them the next demo commie is in office. Domestic terrorists, Democrats, always causing chaos and destruction, destroying people's lives. Anything these traitors disagree with is what they consider an illegal order. They are all just a disgrace to their uniform. That was from Earl 34. Another one here from Deplorable World News. And they can be brought to justice under the U.S. or UCMJ, get busted down or dishonorably discharged, lose their career and benefits, stepped right into that poop. That's the ticket. This is another one from Jet 63. If they don't follow orders, they should be fired, right? This is another one. Enigma 48 says the Dems are getting closer and closer to being on their way out. Yeah, they sure are. Here's another one right here from Want to Inform. This is a reply to the Washington Examiner Sedition article saying those Democrat veterans took the same oath I did to defend the country from domestic enemies. It's a lifetime commitment. What should they do? What should the American people do when the domestic enemy is them? Al-Qaeda is a foreign enemy who declared war on this nation on 9/11/2001. They've never sued for peace. So when Obama was giving aid to Al-Qaeda Libyan rebels in Benghazi and the veteran Democrat Congress members were part of that cover-up, it's no wonder they're now asking members of our military to commit treason on their behalf. Wow. Okay. The next one right here is traitors from Nathan 6617. P78 says, hang them. George Washington would. Lori EDT says unlawful is the key word, folks. Unlawful. Indict all of them, says Sandra Penn. Another comment here just says sedition from Daryl Sharp. Another one here from Pengal 82. Insurrection, treason. Diane, and these are all reposted by Donald J. Trump, guys. Get these people out of office. They aren't doing their jobs. They are looking for ways to be rebels and take others with them. They need to go. They need to go. Then we've got another one right here. This is the actual article. President Trump reposts it and says, this is really bad and dangerous to our country. If their words cannot be allowed, and their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up with 3 question marks. President DJT. Seditious behavior, punishable by death. He finishes off his little morning rant, rightfully calling this sedition, Shady Groove.
Man, I mean, if there was not enough there for you to understand already, let me just add just a little bit to what he is saying, because this is the point that we've been making on this show that everybody else missed. The military has been in bed with the cartel and the cabal for the duration of their existence. Donald Trump is literally decoupling this. So the military, to some degree, has been letting the drug boats through. The military, to some degree, has been letting the caravans come to your border. The military, to some degree, has been allowing regimes like Venezuela to get bigger and to get worse. These people that came out and said you can disobey lawful orders, they are saying that you can disobey orders like blowing up drug boats. They're saying you can disobey orders like being in a city and deporting an illegal immigrant. They're saying that you can disobey these types of orders is what they're talking about. That's because they have a network to protect. We believe that Donald Trump is in the process of tearing down the whole corrupt temple. And we believe that that corrupt temple goes all the way to the top of most every single general in the U.S. military, guys. I'm not saying that the guys on the ground that are serving the military are bad at all. I'm saying that the guys that wear the brass are corrupt AF.
Yeah. Yeah. So this could, I'm sure, Q never mentioned anything about
I'm sure we could find the thread.
Boy. Pesky Q-proof regarding sedition, guys. There are 12 posts with sedition. I've got the link there for you. But on 11/19, 2026, oops, I'm really in the future. But I quote reposted them video with the U.S. code for sedition saying this is sedition. On 11/20/2025, President Trump posts about sedition for the Dems, who posted a video telling the military not to follow orders, calls for their arrest and to be put on trial. This one, 28/16. Define the following: treason, sedition, subversion, conspiracy to commit. Do you understand and fully appreciate the gravity of the situation? Do you understand and fully appreciate what the President of the United States endures each and every single day? He loves this country. He loves you. We must stand together in this fight. There is evil in this world. There is darkness in this world. There are those in power who wish to control or enslave you, keep you sedated, to keep you unaware, to keep you blind. This will be on our timetable, and we will deliver transparency and prosecution. There is simply no other way except one. Shady.
Take care of it yourself.
This post right here lines exactly up to what they're talking about, because D-class is requested, right? We've got the documents and more. It's all happening now under Gabbard and FBI Director Kash Patel. Okay, we've got the Russia being declassed. We've got Epstein being declassed. We've got it all being declassed right now. Plus more will occur. This is not a game. Do not let personal emotional desires. Do it now. Now. What is taking you so long? Now. Take over. Logical thinking and strategy should always be applied. It's game theory. We all want to see equal justice under the law. New threats. Investigation by SDNY. AS. Adam Schiff. Maxine Waters, MW. In an effort to delay and prevent release, insurance extension will fail. Transparency is the only way forward. And then we go into define the following, which is the one I read for you there. But look at this, Shady Grove. I mean, let's just go back and look at the Q posts, 12 of them right here, that actually talk about sedition and conspiracy, and sedition, actually. This is real investigations. CIA Director John Brennan investigated for perjury. Democrat House focus on POTUS equals insurance, extension from Mueller to House. Grand jury testimony underway in several states. Attempts to block, protect themselves will fail. Far beyond political corruption. Sedition. Law governing removal of a sitting Congress. M/W. Senator. Lights on. This is another one. Placeholders. Okay, we're going to get into this as well, because there's the OIG report. There's D-class and other released facts regarding 18 U.S. Code, Chapter 115, treason, sedition, and subversive activities. I mean, even right here, Shady Grove, right here, they Q actually internal civil war. Look at this. It's all here in these Q posts. There's so many of them that are relevant to what we just saw, up to and including the whole Chapter 115. This is it right here. This is sedition. This whole document, Q named it. It's the document 115, treason, sedition, and subversive activities. Okay, look at that. Shady.
Wow. We tried to tell them. And effectively, what the people that you have been watching do all of this other nonsense on our side, well, to some degree, they're right there in congruence with these people. They don't want Donald Trump's agenda to be able to take hold. So this is a multifaceted, multi-pronged, many different directional attack on MAGA, on Donald Trump, on what is the real America First agenda, which is MAGA. Make America Great Again means to make America the behemoth, the business behemoth again that it was 140 years ago, okay? The business behemoth. Make America Great Again means make America the #1 country on planet Earth for production and excellence again, like it was 100 and some years ago. There's no Massey, there's no Marjorie Taylor Greene or any other person out there that you're seeing that has anywhere close to this vision that Donald Trump is implementing, that he's bringing in 20, like literally, you think Marjorie Taylor Greene could get GE to come back to Kentucky? You think Marjorie Taylor Greene could get car manufacturers to start manufacturing cars in America? You think Tom Massey could negotiate peace in the Middle East? I mean, come on, guys. Let's take a little break, breathe into a paper bag, and calm down.
Yeah. It's funny how, people are ridiculous. We're showing you actually Q proofs regarding sedition and President Trump posting it at the same time. And we get this comment in here saying, oh, goodness, I haven't realized there were still Q people around. Marjorie Taylor Greene probably wouldn't even support that stuff these days. She's not supporting it. She's going against MAGA. She's going against your president, Donald J. Trump. I stand with Trump, not Marjorie Taylor freaking Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is in the district where my mom lives, and everybody there is getting ready to vote her gnarly ass out of office, so we don't have to talk to her anymore. So good luck with that.
That's right. That's right. So outstanding show. Yao Ming, thank you so much. $10 Rumble Rant. We really need you guys. Truth
Rob,
learned. Thank you, Rev Rob. $17 Rumble Rant. And for whatever reason, I'm not getting any ads. You see that, Yeti? We got the number of people, and there's no ads available for us. You see that?
Wow. Rumble's being mean to us.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I want to go. Oh, refresh the browser. Okay, thank you, sir. I want to just go ahead and look at this here. So it's funny, Shady. Let's just go through the story. This is the thread. Wow, look at how awesome this thread. Oh my God,
and
they disconnected it. They disconnected it. So
but explain what you're talking about.
I was trying to. I found the thread. I'm like, yeah, here it is. And then it's all disconnected because Twitter or X disconnected all my older threads. This is from November 24th, 2018. Okay, guys. And this is your cue proof of what President Donald J. Trump just talked about. Now, Yeti was amazing. And he just said, hey, Grok, act like an archivist and find the threads, for this treason and sedition highest levels by In the Matrix. Boom. And Grok has it all, Shady.
There's all the links to the thread.
So what you do is you start at the bottom one, and then we'll just go up and we'll kind of go through this thread since they disconnected it. It must be something pretty real, right, Shady?
I think that we should go through it because a nice refresher for the people that aren't understanding of what we were talking about 7-8 years ago. Whenever we first started, this was like a couple months before our first broadcast here.
Yeah. Lisa Blair is tardy, but she did pay her tardy slip of $20. Thank you, Lisa. And she says, thank you guys for helping navigate us through all of this. You're welcome. All right. So this is it. Shady Grove, treason and sedition at the highest levels. I did this November 24th, 2018. Boy, we must get this guy off Twitter, huh, Shady?
Future approves past.
Wow. All right. So this is placeholders, acts of treason plus support articles, placeholders. These are placeholders for foreign acts public. Okay. These are placeholders for OIG report and findings. We were getting told to say that there's going to be, let the unsealing begin. Let the D-class begin. Let the world witness the truth. We, the people, justice under the law. Q. So these are all placeholders in regards to findings and people and FISA abuses and umbrella spy targeting. Like you just saw, Shady Grove, umbrella spy and targeting. Did you see that Congress passed a law that any Republican congressman that was spied on by the Biden or Obama campaign can get up to $500,000 in lawsuits?
Yeah, I did see that.
So that's also a Q proof.
And before you move into this, and right here as a precursor, I just want to say to everybody, I want to say something very, very specific to all of you guys. It's time to get a strong stomach. It's time to. You are seeing these weak people, very, very weak people on both sides. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm seeing it on both sides. These people are very weak. They do not understand strength. They do not understand power, and they do not understand the ability to spend political capital. This is what Donald Trump is currently doing. He earned his political capital during the last decade, and now he is spending his political capital. And when he's spending this political capital, he is doing it with power and strength, like a herd of buffaloes. Okay, that's the power and strength of MAGA and Donald Trump, and that's what's coming at all these people. They don't know it. They're like China dolls standing there in the way. All of them, a whole row of China dolls standing there in the way of a herd of buffalo that is coming right at them. So I just want you guys to all have a very strong stomach for what's coming, because Donald Trump does not care what any of these people think, and he doesn't care what the criticism is. What he is doing is he is fixing your country. He's saving you, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Patricia Stevens asked, when will the military tribunals begin? Why has the Senate not confirming Trump's nominated judges? So we're not sure that military tribunals will happen until the news unlocks any of that. So what we do is we wait for it. But you're right. The Senate is not confirming Trump's nominated judges, and that does need to happen in order to, get this done correctly. I believe that's a great question, guys. Thank you, Patricia. Appreciate that. All right. So Shady, here it is. This is the second one. Treason. This is 18 U.S. Code 2381. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid or comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer DEATH. or shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years and fined under this title, but not less than $10,000, and shall be incapable of holding any office under the United States of America. Look at these people here. Do you know any of these guys, Shady?
There's some familiar faces there, bro.
Hey, why is my picture on there, Shady?
Bill, because you were the one that actually went to the FC's island.
I was trying to get a deal.
Yeah, well, no deals.
No deals. All right, that's Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. Is that Ocasio-Acaso, whatever her name is? What is her name? AOC? Who is that? No, that's Huma Abedin. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Abedin.
Yeah, oops, wow. Then you got Chuck Schumer, and then you got Barack Hussein Obama. And then you've got, why am I spacing her name out? Valerie Jarrett? Yep. Eric Holder, and then John Kerry, okay? We have a very special place picked out for George Soros. Really special. Okay, maybe that's Alex now, right? We'll have to find out. News unlocked. Treason. Here's some more people that we actually identified as well. You got the Bushes. He's talking today, Shady, on Dick's grave, Shady.
I actually was mentioning that, sir. Why are we not like in here live covering the funeral of Dick Cheney? You guys want us to go like get the commentary from George W. Bush?
So continuing, we've got John Brennan, James Clapper.
Come on, man! I'm trying to.
Andy McCabe, Adam Schiff, Sally. Is that Sally Q. Yates? I can't remember who that is. Huh. Boy, it's been a while. Remember this guy? He got in a fight with
on the left. Is that Samantha on the left?
Powers?
Is that Samantha?
I don't know.
I think that might be Samantha Powers.
Blumenthal, right? Is that who that guy is? I can't remember this guy's name. And then this guy's name is Rod Rosenstein. Right.
Yep.
Whew. Wow, guys. All right. So then we got this one. No name. So we do not say his name. Okay. His name is John McCain. He's wanted for treason, but he actually is no longer with us. And that actually was a Q proof because it said no name back in the news. And then it said 30 days. And then exactly 30 days later, John McCain had passed away. Pretty amazing, right?
I'm sure complete coincidence.
Yeah. But there's going to be some people saying he was replaced and shot at Gitmo.
No, he wasn't.
Treason. Hillary Rodham Clinton. They thought she would never lose, Shady. All right. So, you know that what the code is for treason, and it's punishable by unaliving, right? We got that. And now you've got HRC open source server, missing emails, CrowdStrike, granted access, betrayed only the tip. This will make public soon. China hacked HRC server. False. Access was granted. You have more than you know. The plane crashed, 1999. HRC Senate seat 2000. The start. And this is regarding POTUS and JFK Jr. And then we actually forced Fox News and all these people to actually talk about this. Remember, Hillary Clinton and Foundation crime against children, guys. And that's our OIG report, page 294. Okay. You got Wiener with this 15-year-old, sexually explicit, and then the laptop, thousands of emails, and then Hillary Clinton and the Foundation, crime against children. And then why are children in Haiti in high demand? How are they smuggled out? Adoption process, local staging ports friendly to Clinton Foundation, track donations, cross against location relative to Haiti. Think logically. The choice to know will be yours. All right, and then we got, is that all? No, it's not all. Hang on. Let me go back over here. Okay. Oh, wow. So we went out of treason HRC. Okay. This is treason State Department HRC. Okay. You've got they will lose the black vote once Haiti is revealed. What happens if the truth about Haiti is released? Do D's lose the majority of the vote? Right? Crooked's State Department gave it special attention to Friends of Bill after Haiti earthquake. Unbelievable. Interesting, right? Treason Hussein. Okay. Fellow patriots, what you're about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control, freedom. The information that will become public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt pure evil abuse of power that Hussein administration of the Hussein administration undertook with joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has just begun rolling. There's no stopping it now. D5, stay the course. Trust the plan. Protective measures are in place. Be brave. Remain brave. We knew this day would come. United we stand. Worldwide. Where we go one, we go all. We fight. Conspiracy no more. So remember, we've got the U1 pallets of cash, Iran scam, no legal oversight. Who created ISIS? Who funded ISIS? Who protected ISIS? What is Loop Capital? $29 million to Singapore? What was Obama's U.S. Secret Service code name? Renegade? What is Gateway Bridge Project? Who created MS-13? Who funds MS-13? Who protects MS-13? Released by release and capture policy? Who spent $75,000 tax dollars of pizza and hot dogs at the White House? that got slipped in there, Shady. Here's all the other Hussein ones, guys. I mean, it's crazy. The amount of Q proofs in this one post today about sedition is absolutely insane, Shady.
And what's insane is what those people made a video and said.
Yeah.
That shows the level of intensity internally among this group of people that are losing control. You know, it bubbles up. You have to look at where it's bubbling up. None of them are saying what they really think. They're just flipping out. So that's the reason you have the Flynn network flipping out, the InfoWars network flipping out, and all of these people, elected officials and ex-Intel officials. Kelly is elected. The Slotkin is elected. These are elected United States officials, ex-intelligence people, telling the intelligence agency to go against the elected president. Remember yesterday we explained to you that all 3,300 counties in the last election moved to the right. Okay? These people that just made this video are going against every single ounce of that energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro, when you think about it.
Continuing on, we have a really special place picked out for George Soros, really special. And he's made it his life mission to destroy the United States of America. I hate this country and I hate all the people in it, George Soros said in Newsweek 1979. This is Sedition Pelosi. Paul and Nancy Pelosi Charitable Foundation. They all have foundations for a reason. Stupid, right? $8 million, Nancy Pelosi, $8 million, Deutsche Bank USA, on and on and on. Follow the money. Focused on the loudest voices in Washington. Is that what we're doing right now? Are we focused on the loudest voices, Shady?
We are.
Mm-hmm. Big error. Pelosi admits travel to North Korea passed. Archive immediately. They have tried to cover this. Why is this relevant? These people will lose everything. Okay? This is those that speak the loudest. Sedition. How do you obstruct oversight? How do you obtain inside knowledge to closed-door financial investigations? Maxine Waters, California ranking member. Those who are the loudest have the most to fear. Hide. Money talks. How are senators worth many millions of dollars? How does Maxine Waters live in a $4 million home? How many past current and $4 million estimated in 2018? Imagine what it's worth today. How many past current politicians have foundations or institutes? Corrupt, broken, traitors, jail, justice, jail, unalive, Q. This is the tarmac meeting, guys. This is also seditious conspiracy. Lynch said that she regrets that tarmac meeting with Bill Clinton about promised Supreme Court seat, okay? And then this is public interest, keep high, Uranium One FBI informant Awan, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Pakistani intel, Muslim Brotherhood, tarmac meeting, Supreme Court, Loretta Lynch, deal, Anton Scalia, 187. That was when Anton Scalia died, guys. He got suffocated, I believe is what happened, Shady.
Yep.
Sedition, Senator Warren, Consumer Protection Agency, Senator Warren, corruption, infiltration, slush fund. What have we learned about the Consumer Protection Agency and that slush fund? That news unlocked that. They gave $25 million to NGOs just at the end of Biden's presidency. Slush fund. I like that one, Shady. That was a good one. Senator Feinstein, she's no longer with us, but Google in China. I mean, she was working with China, okay? She actually, didn't she have her driver? Her driver was Chinese, guys.
Her driver was a Chinese intelligence asset, a very, very qualified and highly intelligent Chinese intelligence asset.
Yeah. What state does Feinstein represent?
California.
Mm-hmm. Google in China, Dragonfly. Look here, Russia, not here. Do not look here, China. Okay. Then we've got mortified. What is the purpose for a bridge? And this is Feinstein was mortified by FBI allegations that staffer was spy for China. Mortified. Or did she know? And I think that's it, Shady. We covered it, and just kind of that unlocked a lot of Q posts, did it not?
It really does. And it unlocks the reality of what it is that we are fighting as a nation. To fight to be the nation that we are supposed to be is not going to be easy, because everybody that's out there that is connected to it is trying to make the nation something that it isn't. They're trying to reimagine America into the image of a globalist empire. America is a democratic republic. Okay, it is not an empire. We do not seek to conquer anyone, and we shouldn't seek to conquer anyone. We should seek to cooperate with everyone, and we should seek to solve issues with the rest of the world and help them get through their problems. But the world is engineered much like a hospital is engineered. The world is engineered in a way to where it intentionally makes problems and it intentionally doesn't fix them. Okay, Donald Trump trying to fix these problems, and Americans plugging into the conversation and having the audacity to think that we could make the world a better place. That's the crime. I want you to understand that. The crime of the century is all of us Americans working with Donald Trump to implement a world that's actually more, the arc of history falls more towards the side of good than evil. Good Lord forbid us trying to do that.
Yeah. All right, so Shady, you pointed this out, but this timestamp is actually 10:21 a.m., but you're on the West Coast, so you have, but look at this. Seditious behavior, punishable by unaliving. We're saying that because of YouTube, okay, guys? Apparently we can't say that, okay? But look at the Q post that it goes to. What have we been talking about on Friday, Shady Groove?
We've been talking about the control of America.
Mm-hmm. With the bloodlines via the Vatican and other things, right? So list the estimated wealth of religious organizations. Billions, Vatican Bank, $229 billion. Board of Superintendents, Supervisory Commission of Cardinals, Clown Connection, 1832 Rothschild loan to the Holy See.
So Donald Trump's timestamp right there with that post about that exact subject just happens to hit that exact timestamp. And we've been telling you here for a minute that, you know, all of the people that are screaming, it's the J word, it's the wrong J word. The
Jesuit.
The J word that they should be using is Jesuit.
Yeah. So, you know, just so you know, the Pacers bought the Vatican in the 1800s. Look at that. Remember? That's part of our...
Right.
Okay. So, via the Rothschilds, because the Rothschilds worked for the Pacers. They were the worker bees. Now, you know, I just lost my train of thought, Shady. I was going to say something really good.
All right, well, you'll get back to it in just a second.
Yeah, I will. And then, did you see the Pope come out against open borders? Check this out.
What is it that U.S. bishops have made a very strong statement about the deportation and detention of migrants? What do you think of it? And how, they kind of said that you've got their back. Were you behind that?
Well, I've made some statements about that already. I appreciate very much what the bishops have said. I think it's a very important statement. I would invite, especially all Catholics, but people of goodwill, to listen carefully to what they said. I think we have to look for ways of treating people humanely, treating people with the dignity that they have. If people are in the United States illegally, there are ways to treat that. There are courts. There's a system
there's
of justice.
ICE.
I think there are a lot of problems in the system. No one has said that the United States should have open borders. I think every country has a right to determine who and how and when people enter. But when people are living good lives, and many of them for 10, 15, 20 years, to treat them in a way that is extremely disrespectful, to say
well, they're here illegally, okay? All right, so I don't really care about the rest of that statement, but he is right. We have the right to close our borders, as our president, the United States of America, has the right to close his borders. Now, the way that we got to get rid of these people, because so many were let in, okay? If so many weren't let in, it'd probably be a much more easy process and not as weird, but we need to use ICE, okay? Because there's a resistance in this country to protect these people, and it's ridiculous. These people are murderers. These people are child... Ugh. people. These people are bad people. And you're out there honking your horn, getting in the way of ICE investigations, not knowing what the heck you're doing. You know, remember the ICE video we showed the other day? I go, the guy's a pedophile, ma'am. ICE said to the person filming, he's like, how do you know? And the ICE goes, do you know his name? And she goes, do you know it? Of course he knows the name. They have intel on that individual that he is a pedophile, guys. And this lady's trying to protect somebody that harmed children in our country.
Do you think it's humble to enter a country illegally? Is that an act of humility? Is it an act of humility to cross a border of a foreign country and plop down like you own the place and not associate or be accountable to law enforcement? Is it dignified to cross a border illegally? So. No. How in the world can we use quote unquote humility and dignity to get rid of people who have betrayed the sacred trust of the idea of you have broken our law? You clearly know you're here illegally. You clearly are working with some people or around some system so that you can sustain yourself here. You've gotten some sort of, the people that have been here for 20 years, what, sucking off the government teat? The people that have been here like taking benefits and doing all these different things for 20 years and everybody's been pretending like that it doesn't exist and voting, all of a sudden 20 years has gone by and all of these solid red states have started to turn purple and we're supposed to believe that, it's a change in the American attitude. I'm seeing humility and dignity. If I wanted to see some humility and dignity, I would say, get all of these people out of the school system so that the American people can learn something about the American history. They're not teaching American history. They're not teaching anything to do with what your country is. How in the world can you grow up to be an adult and to think that you have a country that's worth something if you didn't learn one damn thing about it the whole time you were in school? Nothing about history, nothing about how we got here. You don't even freaking know geography. If you didn't have a phone in your hand, you'd drive right into the ocean because you're so freaking stupid. And because you're just looking down at your phone. You know what I mean? Like they've engineered two generations of Americans that are so freaking dumb that all of these psyops they suck in on both sides and they're happy about it.
Not to mention, Shady, in Russia, it's a 10-year sentence if you are an illegal alien. And if you're an illegal alien in China, it's life. Okay.
Right. Those are go to Mexico. Those places are far away. Get your ass in a car, you little illegal immigrant supporting Democrat numbnut. Go to El Paso and try to cross into Mexico.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens to you.
Yeah. Do it. Do it. All right, so getting back onto the topic of this sedition, this is Stephen Miller today. Check yesterday, Shady. Check this out.
Strength and power. Remember those two words.
There is nothing graver that you could possibly say as a United States Senator than encouraging, urging, directing members of the armed forces of the United States or the clandestine services of the United States to defy their president, defy their chain of command, defy their superiors. To say such a thing would require you to have and to present to the nation some extraordinary scandal beyond even our wildest imagination, which of course they don't have, because every single thing that this president has done has been not only lawful, but has been repairing and reversing the unlawful and unconstitutional behavior of the previous administration, which opened our nation's borders up to millions of illegal aliens and foreign terrorists and gang leaders and cartel operatives and everyone else threatening peace, safety, and public order in the United States. So this conduct by these lawmakers is a direct attack on this republic. But there's an even deeper issue here that we have to understand. The Democrat Party has reached a point of extremism where the only thing that they believe is legitimate are the things that keep them in power and that keep their policies in effect no matter the will of the public. So, for example, if President Trump orders an illegal alien deported, they would have their district court judges block that deportation. But if they're in power, what will they do? End the filibuster, stack the Supreme Court, appoint 10 radical loyalists.
And screw your country over. I mean,
and change the dynamic of the power control in America forever to orient it towards the judicial branch.
Yeah.
This is what they want. You guys think you don't understand like where like the king ruled from. The king didn't rule from his castle. The king ruled through his judges. You get that? The judges are the point of what the judicial aspect of America is the most dangerous for a reason. 3 branches of government for a reason. The executive branch is not the most dangerous branch of government to the freedom of the people. And I think that everybody is starting to get a nice helping of understanding about what that means right now. Because all of these judges just happen to go to law schools that just happen to have connections back to certain facilities that are over there in Rome that happen to have numbnut ideas about globalism and happen to think that, all of these different things about America are bad.
Yeah. So let's go to Onward to Get Her. Okay. This is Hillary Clinton's website. Okay. Let's go to their partners. These are all Arabella advisors. Demand Justice. This was packing the court. Okay. Color of Change. These are all fake Voto Latino. They sued Greg and Catherine. Okay. A fake foundation is suing people with lawfare, guys. This is who was going after Cinema, right? Living for Change in Arizona. Fake. This is Indivisible. Look, we know about who these people are, don't we? And this is Demand Justice. Demand Justice is an Arabella-controlled thing where they want to pack the court, guys. Demand justice. They want to emerge with more people, guys. We've been talking about this for a long time, Shady.
They're never going to get their hands back on the levers of government, guys. This is the point that we're making to you. Right now is a crossroads. What you are seeing right now, the reason that they had a No Kings rally, the reason that they're doing all of this gnarly stuff that they're currently doing, the reason that you're seeing an unbelievable syncing up right now of the left and the right is because of their fear, okay? Whenever we talked about panic in D.C. and whenever we talk about like fear, they're showing themselves the loudest voices in Washington. What does that mean? The loudest voices in Washington. It means the people that are the loudest are the most afraid. Always reorient the way that you look at the world and recognize this. In other words, people like Thomas Massey, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and people like Candace Owens. Those are the people that are yelling the loudest. Those are the people at a fever pitch right now, and they're all 3 of those are on your side. And what are they yelling? Why are they being so loud? Well, because everything that's coming out of their mouth is nonsense.
Yeah. And you know what's sad is a lot of people are actually believing it. So let's quickly, because I thought it was funny, Shady. There's a list of all of the conspiracy theories.
Oh no.
That Candace has.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Yeah, so this is it, guys. You ready? So this is the Candace Owens. What she's alleged that Charlie Kirk was murdered by: 1, Israel. Okay. 2, a B cult, Shady. Mm-hmm. 3, the deep state. Mm-hmm. 4, TPUSA also was involved, and the FBI. And don't forget the man hidden underneath a trap door. Don't forget the Mormons. Don't forget Britney Spears and those Egyptian planes, Shady. Mm-hmm. The Trump administration, Erica Kirk, the feds. I mean, how foolish is this?
Yeah, the whole thing. I just saw some video yesterday. They're all spreading this nonsense around about a trap door under where Charlie Kirk was. Like that dude Baker, whatever his name is, the California guy with the dreadlocks, like doing a video about that. Like acting like there's no trap door. It wasn't a trap door. It was like they were.
It was outside on grass.
It was like they were redoing. They had like a whole pallet thing stacked there, and the plywood was like leaned up against it. And they're trying to call it a trap door. And they're trying to say that they're basically trying to say that somehow Charlie Kirk got dropped through a trap door, and some fake person put up there that. Like that's what they're saying, dude. Like I don't really know what to tell you. I can't make it up. If I could make this crap up, I would like make it up and sell it to you.
Yeah. Well, and that's what they're doing. And they're making a lot of money on it. She's the number one podcast right now while we're struggling with the truth.
Yep. We will. And it looks like we're always going to struggle with the truth as long as we continue to try to do this.
Seems like it, right? Yeah. Oh, boy. Whew. Stephen Miller. That guy is amazing, guys. just looking at all this and all the different things and the seditious and there's got to be a time eventually, right, when, their crap doesn't work on the American people anymore, right?
I think that's what's happening. I think that's what they're desperate for the midterms, Jeff. I think that the reason you're seeing this is specifically targeting Donald Trump and his run up to the midterms. The number two thing that they're seeing that they're afraid of is what we reported to you yesterday, the number of seats that are open for election this year. They're not going to be able to get their goofy little cult network members in there because Donald Trump is going to endorse people that are actually support him. I guarantee it. I don't know the future, but I'm sitting here maybe making a little bit of a prediction. The people that Donald Trump chooses to run and rallies for in 2026 will almost none of them be connected to General Flynn or any of the Alex Jones bobbleheading fools.
Thank you, EMP Hands. One subscription to the MG Show. Mikey Mariano says $20 for truth. Who's going to match them? Thank you guys so much. And let's go to this because I'm actually, people, it's boomeranging. The Epstein Files. Let's look at this report on the Epstein Files by Jesse Waters, Shady.
Okay.
And don't go anywhere. We will have Karoline Leavitt, okay?
Don't go anywhere.
Even Thanksgiving yet.
Don't go anywhere,
Trump's
Shady.
already giving out Christmas presents.
Don't go anywhere.
Begged Santa for the Epstein Files, and now he's dropping them down the chimney. But it turns out for the Democrats, they're not a gift. They're a grenade. And Schumer just pulled the pin.
Thank you, G. Brothers.
Scrambling for a backup plan, laying the groundwork for the next hoax.
We got to make sure we get all of the Epstein files. All. They can't around with this. And we are going to be pursuing them relentlessly to get everything. Because I don't trust this administration. I don't trust Bondi. I don't trust Kash Patel. I don't trust the president. And they could screw around with it.
All right, so he doesn't trust all those people, Shady. Bondi, Kash Patel, the president. Who else is saying that?
Well, that would mean this man right here agrees with every single General Flynn, numbnut, Alex Jones, war guy out there. I would bet that I bet he agrees with them about Palestine too.
Right. And this is crazy.
And the Antifa's not real.
When I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, all these people on X are saying the same thing.
Like General Flynn.
Chuck doesn't trust Trump, but he sure liked Epstein. The creep donated thousands to Chuck in the 90s. Epstein was a Democrat, down to his bones. Huge donor. The DNC is still stashing donations he sent before he killed himself. But Schumer thinks that Trump's going to bleach the emails like crooked. Whistleblowers say the big guy's the one with the shredder.
You were made aware of a whistleblower that under the former deputy director of the FBI, so under Biden's FBI, there was destruction of evidence specifically pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein and potential evidence tampering.
Democrats thought they were launching a rocket at Trump, but they misfired and hit their own camp. And now they're on defense. Hakeem's team got caught asking Epstein to go on a dinner date. They sold him as Brooklyn's Barack. Now he's saying, I did not have relations with that pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein.
I have no recollection of the email. I've never had a conversation with him, never met him, know nothing about him other than the extreme things that he's been convicted of doing.
Another House Democrat, Stacey Plaskett, was getting fed questions by Epstein during a congressional hearing. Hakeem doesn't know her either.
Do you think it was appropriate for her to be texting with Jeffrey Epstein 11 years after he pleaded guilty?
I mean, I have not had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett to discuss this issue.
Now Hakeem says they talked, but he's keeping that convo a dirty little secret. Makes sense. Plaskett's fighting for her life, and he doesn't want to go down with her.
I got a text from Jeffrey Epstein, who at the time was my constituent. You want to talk about texting felons? How often do you text President Donald J. Trump? That's the individual we should be concerned about.
Epstein wasn't just her constituent. She helped him get $300 million in tax breaks. Epstein's lawyer paid her. Epstein's money helped her win her House seat, and she went to dinner at her townhouse. She went on CNN to defend herself, but ended up making it worse.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth. If individuals are not involved in illegal activity, extending his criminal enterprise or his financial enterprise or all of those things. I think that we need to look at what people are doing moving forward.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes. And as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can.
If Epstein had information to take down Trump, he wouldn't have handed it to Stacey. He would have given it to the Clinton and Obama boys and dropped a nuke on the Don. But he didn't, because he didn't have it. And isn't it poetic that the Epstein mess is sinking a Democrat from the Virgin Islands? Stacey sounds like she's munching on Kamala's word salad. Speak of the devil.
Release the files.
Nom, 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 nom.
Release the files. He is the president of the United States.
Why didn't Kamala and Biden release the files?
If you look back at the DOJ, during the Biden-Harris administration and think, man, I wish that we should have done more on this or that.
I do believe that.
All right, we're going to leave it right there because we got the files released and it's going to boomerang on them. We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
The MG Show. What real independent journalism looks like. The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest...
My Pillow is excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever, with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. My Pillow bed sheets, only $29.88, any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. My towels are finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first and only time, get their limited edition premium My Pillows made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queens, $17.98. Kings, only $19.98. Also, for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you will receive free shipping plus $100 in free digital gifts. So go to mypillow.com or call 800-873-0478 and use promo code MGSHOW. Use your promo code for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
We are here for a reason, here to unite the core. This is not a game, this is war.
Wow, that's a good. That's all those evil ones and the evil posts. Great video. I wish it was longer. I didn't realize it only cut off there. I would listen to him like, yeah, Scottish Anna in the house. Guys, check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and somebody said we want JT Wild Watcher. We can't play since we're back on YouTube after 5 years of censorship. We can't play stuff that's copywritten. We gotta play stuff that we make or you make, guys.
Shady. Can't play anything.
I know. I mean, we have to like edit White House videos that the White House posts on. It's so stupid.
Because they've got like audio that's copyrighted music, I guess.
Yeah. And no apologies, Scottish. And then next time when you do it big screen wise, like, you know, tilt your phone the other way to record. And then it'll be, instead of up and down, it'll be whatever you want to do. I like it. I like that video. That was a good song. But we're here back on YouTube. Thank you very much. Go to youtube.com/In the Matrix with 3 X's. In the Matrix with 3 X's. Go over there, Rumble guys, and just quickly, if you have an account, quickly go like the video and come on back over here if you want to rumble.com/MG show. That is our home base for the time being. We're also on X. We're also on Facebook. Jeff MG show MG show.link/Jeff JEFF FB mgshow.link/Jeff FB, and you can find Shady over there as well. He's over on Facebook as well. Welcome back, guys. And we're your favorite podcasts. We're all over the place except for Spotify because we weren't able to get that back yet, Shady.
Yeah, isn't that interesting that they're not letting us have that?
Yeah. And we got Watcher in the house, 222 Watcher. It's good to see you. He's been posted by Donald J. Trump, and he's been a good friend of the show for years. And he's naked, guys. We need to get Watcher a red castle. He deserves it. He deserves it. So if you could help him out, that would be great. Also, before we continue, Shady, I've got we're waiting on the greatest press secretary in the world, or in the history of press secretaries. We're waiting for her to come on, but I'm going to go ahead. I need a cup of coffee. I hope you guys do too, because this is
coffee.
You all know, guys. I mean, I start my day. I don't start my day without 2 things: standing up for what I believe in, and a strong cup of coffee that does the same. That's why I drink Blackout Coffee, 100% American company that is unapologetically patriotic, pro Second Amendment, and anti-woke. They don't just roast incredible coffee. They stand for the very values this country was built on: God, family, and freedom. Every bag is roasted right here in Florida and shipped straight to your door. No corporate garbage, no virtue signaling. Just real coffee for real Americans. If you're like me and need to hit the ground running, try their Morning Reaper medium roast. It's bold, smooth, and kicks like a mule. And if you're into something darker, like Founding Fathers Dark, grab their 1776 blend. It's rich, fearless, and roasted to perfection. Support a company that actually gives a damn about this country. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/rumble and use code RUMBLE for 20% off your first order. Blackout Coffee. Wake up, stand up, never backing down.
That didn't rhyme. Great ad. Thank you so much.
So I get all this, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You didn't write it.
Appreciate it.
I'd like to mention D Mile USN out here opted for a monthly donation. You two deserve it. I assume it can be increased if you continue to deliver the truth. I have been disappointed in many hosts until I stumbled upon your show. I'd be curious to know how long you have been with the MG show here in the project, which is what we're doing. And what we're doing here is we have set our ego aside and we have decided to follow the truth. And there's sometimes whenever we've been able to see that we have a specific position on some people or situations, if new information arrives, we look at the new information and we change what it was that we previously thought and are able to update the mainframe due to new information. The hurdle or the needle threading the needle point or the knothole that people can't get through is that all of these people seem to think that following the truth means following whatever it is that's in your numbnut head. That's not following the truth. Following the truth is following whatever it is that we can prove with discernible, legible, articulable, provable facts of situations, time, places, people that we could show you were interacted and or connected. The rest is up to you for your own discernment. This is literally, we are presenting information to you in a raw form that is very quote unquote dirty, so that you can perceive and take the information and do with what you will. And we love to be pushed back on, and we love legitimate arguments.
Yeah, legitimate conversations, not coming in saying you wear red shoes, Matrix.
Yeah, like if you can make a point about things. People are making points. A lot of this stuff that's going on right now about Candace Owens and the things that she's saying. I get it. I know that she's saying some incredible stuff, and then she's showing you some things that seem like it's backing up what she's saying. Yeah. But there's no real connections, and what they aren't doing is they're not taking apart very specific facts that we already know to be true. You can't have both. You can't have a bunch of esoteric stuff that ignore facts on the ground. Facts like Erica Kirk didn't participate in the murder of her husband. Those types of facts.
And I think it's D-Mile U.S. Navy, I believe. Thank you for your service. If that's what it means, D-Mile, thank you for the subscription. Thank you for pointing that out.
I think it's important enough to share with us what it is you work to earn.
Yeah, thank you. G Brothers matched Mikey for all you guys do for us. $20, $20 222 watcher. Hey, Mikey, I matched it. Nicole Tarina, let's go, fam. Let's go. EMP Hands, a subscription. Mikey Mariano, a subscription. Trust 1971, a subscription. And Mary, a subscription as well. I think, did we get 222? Yes, he's got his Red Castle now. Remember 222. Red Castle, Green Castle decode. Also, Trust Agent Miami figured it out, Shady. That was Bob Marley meets the Transformers. More that meets the eye. Get up, stand up. Right?
Absolutely. I want to agree with that assessment.
She got it. Thank you for everything, guys. I appreciate that. Let's see. We're waiting on, don't worry, we are waiting on Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. This should be an interesting one since the president just called out for sedition. Oh my God, it's probably going to be a really good press secretary conference, so you're not going to want to miss it, Shady Grove.
Well, I think that so let's just look at what's been happening in the press. Look at the gnarly interaction yesterday with that crazy lady from ABC, and then the gnarly interaction the day before with Shut Up Piggy, the crazy person from all these people from ABC, the place that buried the Epstein story to begin with. ABC, the subsidiary of the Disney Corporation. Interestingly enough, the connections that are there whenever you talk about Walt Disney and Robert Maxwell. Oh, well, the connections between Walt Disney and Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father. Yes, there is.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
It's interesting what the people that are out there that are throwing stuff at you, we refer to it like throwing sand in your face.
Yeah.
People like Candace Owens and Alex Jones, this is what they're doing. Ivan Ranklin, Owen Schroyer, and they're all going on all their own little, repeat echo chamber networks. They're reaching down in the sand on the beach. They're grabbing a handful of sand and they're throwing it right into your face. It's getting into your ears. It's getting into your eyes. It's getting into your nose and your mouth. And then you're trying to interpret the world with all this grit around you.
Yeah. Wow, guys. We've got the jobs report just out as well. Huge numbers. Up 119,000 jobs. Federal government jobs down 3,000. Let's listen.
And here we go. This is the September jobs report. Non-farm payrolls are up a robust 119,000. 119,000 will be the best since April, when we were up 158,000. In the rearview mirror, well, last month was downgraded from 22,000 to minus 4,000. Now, if we look at what's going on with the unemployment rate, it ticked up from 4.3 to 4.4. That was unexpected. 4.4 would, last time we were at that level, boy, I have to go back a ways. October of 2021, when it was 4.5%. Now, if we look at labor force participation rate, it ticked up. That's a good thing. 62.4 equals where we were in May. You have to go to April of this year when it was 62.6 to find a higher number. In terms of the earnings, average hourly earnings, month over month, up 0.2. That's a bit on the weak side. We're expecting up 0.3, up 0.2 equal.
Directly opposite. So the Fed was wrong and Trump was right, basically, Shady Grove. Do you see this?
Powell was telling you that the economy during this quarter would be growing at about 1.1 to 1.2%. That was the Federal Reserve's prediction for this time span in the economy. The reason that this was delayed is because I'm certain the reason that this was delayed is because they couldn't believe the number. They couldn't believe what was actually going on because all of these companies that Donald Trump has made deals with, well, guess what's starting to happen? They're starting to implement the beginning processes of bringing their businesses back to America. What do you need for that? Well, you need people. You need to hire people that start the process of building the factory. You need to hire people that are buying the land and purchasing the property. You got to hire people that are making the negotiations with other companies that you're going to be buying goods and services from so that you can produce your goods and services to sell. This is economics 101, guys. And, whenever we get 50% of the way into 2026, it's very possible, Jeff, we're growing at a clip of 5%. It could hit 5%.
And guess what? Most of these jobs that are being created are going to native-born Americans. Check this out.
The job creation. And this is really important, I know, to you, Matt, but really to me. And it's that we are seeing the job growth go to native-born American citizens. And what happened under the Biden administration is, to the extent there was any job growth at all, if you looked at the data, almost all of the net job creation in the United States under the Biden administration went to the foreign-born. Now, of course, some of those people are legal immigrants to the United States, but that means that a lot of the job creation was actually going to illegal aliens who shouldn't have been in our country. The best thing that you can say about the Trump economy is that American jobs are going to American workers for a change, and that's the thing that I'm proudest about with these numbers.
Me too.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Dude.
I mean, this vice president is amazing. He also, this is America First economic message from J.D. Vance. Check this out.
And even though we've made incredible progress, we understand that there's a lot more work to do. And the thing that I'd ask for the American people is a little bit of patience. This economy was not harmed in 10 months. It took a deliberate 4-year administration that was making life harder for everyday Americans, that was importing foreign workers instead of giving jobs to American workers, that was over-regulating, overtaxing, overspending. They were doing everything wrong. And as much progress as we've made, it's going to take a little bit of time for every American to feel that economic boom, which we really do believe is coming. We believe that we're on the front end of it, but we also recognize that we've got a lot of work to do to undo the damage that Joe Biden did to the American economy. And the last one I'll say, Matt, is let's be honest, it's not just Joe Biden. As much as I think Joe Biden was one of the most disastrous presidents of American history, we had a policy in this country for 40 years of shipping American jobs overseas and hiring foreign workers instead of American workers. That has caused the economic stagnation of the American middle class. There was one bright spot in 40 years, and that was the first Trump administration, and there is going to be a massive exception to that 40-year trajectory of American decline, and that's the second Trump administration. We just got to keep it going.
Just got to keep it going. Have a little patience, guys. I know it hurts right now for a lot of people. I get it. But, this wasn't done in it was 40 years of crap, Shady Group, for this country. Remember, like the Walmart or China, they went into North Carolina, the furniture factories, the clothing factories that were prevalent in North Carolina. They said, hey, move your factory to China, or we're going to take your crap and make it in China and just outprice you. Guys, this was done on purpose. After 9/11, Shady, there was hundreds of thousands of factories. I think it was over 300 and some odd thousand factories, if I remember my number correctly, of factories that were taken out of the U.S. and put into China and other countries.
And that's not the only factor. Another big factor, that's absolutely true. Everything you said there is very true. Another big factor is that there's now less than 10,000 family farms left in America. You realize that? Do you understand that there are less than 10,000 family farms left in this country? Whenever the turn of the last century, in 1900, like literally almost every single homestead was a family farm.
Yeah.
Because the model that was created was the model of you make everything you need on your own property yourself, and you don't really have to go anywhere. And then if you need the cobbler down the street to fix your shoe. Well, he fixes your shoe, and then you give him some eggs.
Yeah.
You see, like you have an exchange rate that has to do with goods and services, not with a financial system. And that's what you have to understand about the, quote, Babylonian money system. The whole system that we are in is a psyop. The lending debt credit system is an absolute psychological operation and a debt-based, slave-oriented structure. Donald Trump is trying to take that debt-based, slave-oriented structure, and he's trying to make you king of your own castle. And all these people that are making billions and billions of dollars off this slave debt structure are getting a little upset. The natives are restless.
Meanwhile, I'd like to show you that walls work. This is an illegal alien trying to get into the United States, stuck on the razor wire, and we had to rescue her, and she's now in a facility in El Paso trying to come over illegally. The wall works, Shady. Look at that.
Yep. You know, it'll somebody ran into a snag.
Wouldn't that be funny if it was like electrified, like those like the bug things?
I advocated for an electrical wall. I did. I know you think it's funny, but I 100% think that wall needs to be electrified.
Yeah. We got that. We've got. It looks like the feed is up for the White House and Karoline Leavitt. We are waiting for her entrance, so we've got a little bit of time, but. In New York City, there was a woman who actually bought 2 Christmas trees for $1,200 in New York City. I wonder if Mandami will give them for free, Shady.
I'm sure.
What? What? I mean, isn't that why they elected him? Because everything's going to be free?
I can't argue with common sense, man. I don't know what to say.
Shady, you were talking about the school. Let's just quickly, this is a North Carolina teacher.
Safe place.
I have to actually mute that, but this is a North Carolina teacher showing you nobody's at school, Shady.
Good.
Wow. Also, here we go. We got our press secretary.
Today, as you can see,
here we go.
Secretary McMahon. So I will begin my remarks. She's going to speak, and then we'll take some questions. She'll take questions, and I'll take questions from you as well. First off, yesterday, First Lady Melania Trump and Second Lady Usha Vance traveled to Marine Corps Air Station New River in Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, where they spent the day meeting with students, educators, military families, and United States Marines. Both the First Lady and Second Lady were grateful for the warm welcome and remain deeply committed to supporting military families and the communities that serve our great nation. May God bless all of them. An economic news. September jobs report showed the American economy remains strong, with 119,000 new jobs added, more than double expectations. These gains came after the summer passage of President Trump's historic tax cuts and multiple big trade deals with countries around the world. In particular, construction jobs surged by 19,000 in September, the largest monthly gain in a year. Nearly all of this solid monthly job growth came from the private sector and went to Americans rather than foreign-born workers, the opposite of what we saw under the previous administration. Inflation also remains under control, and wages are up by 3.8% over the year for American workers because of President Trump's pro-growth policies. In fact, real wages are on pace to increase roughly $1,200 for the average worker this year under President Trump. This is a complete reversal of the failed Biden era, when we saw inflation skyrocket to 9%, causing private sector workers to see their wages decline by approximately $3,000. We know.
Real quick, I forgot to shout this one out before it goes away. P83, a $47 Rumble rant. We appreciate you. And P83 went over to YouTube and was the, what did he say? Oh my gosh, he said 138 like on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Americans are still hurting from the 4-decade high inflation caused by Joe Biden and the Democrats. But President Trump is making significant progress to fix this, and he will not stop working until he solves it. As the president recently stated, he is never satisfied. For example, President Trump's policies are working to make Americans' Thanksgiving more affordable this year, from their commute to the dinner table. Nearly 100 million Americans are expected to drive next week.
Yes, Linda McMahon is the education secretary. There's going to be a big announcement, and we're right here, guys. Keep going.
To spend time with loved ones for the holiday. And thanks to President Trump's drill baby drill agenda, the national average price of a gallon of gas on Thanksgiving Day is projected to be at the cheapest price since the COVID pandemic in 2021. President Trump is bringing down gas prices and providing significant savings to American families at the pump. And again, we expect those prices to continue to decline. According to the American Farm Bureau Federation's annual survey, cooking Thanksgiving dinner will also cost less this year than it did last year and is down about 5% overall. The average price for a staple of the meal, a 16-pound frozen turkey, is down more than 16% from last year, which will provide critical savings for families and their budgets. President Trump's entire economic agenda is aimed at putting more money back into the pockets of hardworking Americans. That's why he signed the largest middle tax cuts in history into law, from no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, to no tax on Social Security. And according to a new study from Piper Sandler, which is out this week, tax filers can expect an extra $1,000 bump to their tax refund next year, and what could be a record-breaking tax refund season. So there is more good news to come. We know these refunds will make a huge difference for Americans to help pay down their bills and use towards life's expenses. In other news this week, President Trump took a significant step toward delivering on a core campaign promise to finally close the Department of Education. To shrink the bloated federal bureaucracy, the Department of Education just entered into new interagency agreements with 4 agencies: the Departments of Labor, Interior, Health and Human Services, and State. These agencies will now ensure the delivery of legally required programs while also refocusing them to better serve students. This common sense action brings the Trump administration much closer to finally returning education where it belongs, at the state and local level, not in Washington, D.C. The Democrats' reckless 43-day government shutdown did manage to do one valuable thing. It proved that America does not need a federal Department of Education. During the longest shutdown in history, the Department of Education furloughed 90% of its staff, and America's education system was not impacted whatsoever. Schools stayed fully open across the country. Students attended class and received normal in-person instruction, and our wonderful teachers received their paychecks uninterrupted. The Democrats' government shutdown made it painfully obvious that American families do not need the Department of Education. Since its creation in 1979 during the Carter administration, the Department of Ed has spent over $3 trillion taxpayer dollars without improving student achievement. Despite pure pupil spending having increased by more than 245% since the 1970s, math and reading scores are down in public schools. In fact, the most recent Nation's Report Card from 2024 showed that 13-year-olds' math scores are the lowest they've been in decades, and their reading scores are the lowest since testing began more than 30 years ago. It's clear that throwing more money at a broken system does not work, and that's why President Trump appointed the amazing leader behind me, our Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, who is making these monumental changes at the direction of the president. We're very grateful to have you here today to talk about these changes and then take some questions. Hopefully folks in this room will have some questions on the very important topic of education. So please, Mrs. Secretary.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Karoline. It's really a pleasure to be here with you today, and thank all of you for being here as well. My purpose here is to speak directly to the American families, not just you, but to the American families, about the work this administration is doing in education to reverse our national decline with a hard reset of our educational system. That reset was a top campaign promise from President Trump to send education back to the states and end Washington's micromanagement of education once and for all. This week, we took the most decisive steps thus far to make good on this promise to you. We have linked 6 groundbreaking partnerships with other federal agencies to delegate education department programs that are redundant with existing programs at Labor, State, Interior, and HHS. These interagency agreements to cut our own bureaucratic bloat are a key step in our efforts to shift educational authority from Washington, D.C. to your state education agency, your local superintendent, your local school board, entities that are accountable to you, and we encourage parents to always be involved. Cutting federal bureaucracy is never a popular move among D.C. insiders. A chorus of anti-Trump voices have come out of the woodwork to complain that we are defunding education, harming students, or acting without a plan. This could not be further from the truth. The majority of Americans across the country handed to President Trump the popular vote precisely because they have seen the brokenness of a top-down education system run by the federal government. They're painfully aware that only 3 out of 10 students can read proficiently at their grade level. They know that college students are collectively $1.7 trillion in debt, and less than half of college graduates get a job that actually uses the degree which they studied so hard to get. They see more teachers than ever before leaving the profession due to burnout, over-regulation, and lack of autonomy in the classroom. Anti-Trump voices are stirring up fear that returning education to the states is a draconian action. When Americans hear that we are shutting down the department, but given no other details, 51% oppose it. But when those same Americans are informed of our plans to preserve important elements of our work in other federal agencies and to maintain the K-12 funding that is distributed to the states, that number flips to an even greater majority at 56%. They support returning education to the states and breaking up the bureaucracy. That's because the Department of Education is a pass-through entity. It doesn't educate a single student. The money it sends to states for education can be sent directly without waste. The Democrats' government shutdown proved that without a doubt, and I'll reiterate what you said, that the Department of Education was not necessary during the shutdown. Now, this is what I've seen already on my 50-state tour that I've embarked on. Educators are innovating in their schools. States are customizing their budgets and standards, and post-secondary institutions are planning for the economy of the future. We're not leading them. They are informing us. That's why our final mission as a department is to fully empower states to carry the torch of our educational renaissance. Education is local. It should be overseen locally by those who best know local needs. We're not ending federal support for education. We are ending federal micromanagement and paving the way for education renewal through state reforms like school choice, the science of reading, and restoring the right priorities in higher education. President Trump promised to send education back to the states, and we're keeping that promise. America's next generation will look back on the work we've carried out, thankful for an education system that prioritizes students over bureaucracy. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Secretary. And we'll take some questions for the Secretary if you have them. Elizabeth, why don't you start?
Thank you for joining us. You announced the partnership to move some functions of the Education Department to other agencies. Are you talking to members of Congress about codifying this so that it lasts beyond the administration?
Yes, we started our conversation, and thanks very much for asking that, because there have been some reports that Congress is in the dark on this. That's clearly not true. We've been talking to, I've talked to dozens of members of Congress to explain to them exactly what we're doing, to bring them up to speed, and to say to them, look, when we have completed some of these transfers that are working incredibly well, then we will be looking to Congress to codify those, make them permanent.
Brian.
Thank you. Secretary McMahon, what is the update on the negotiations with Harvard? I know the president has publicly pointed to you as somebody who's worked on that. I think you've talked about that at length, but I'd like to understand where are things with those negotiations with Harvard this time?
They're ongoing negotiations, and I feel very comfortable that we are getting close to having those negotiations finalized. It's been open door conversation all along.
Deanna?
Hello, Mrs. Secretary. The President recently posted about establishing a federal standard for AI. Do you know if the administration has a view on the use of AI for students in schools? And Karoline, do you know if the President personally uses AI?
I don't think so.
We can handle
I've
that
never
one.
witnessed it, so I can't attest to that.
Well, I do think AI is going to need guardrails, but I have witnessed AI firsthand. I was at the Alpha School in Austin, Texas, and the first 2 hours of every day in that school, students are learning through AI. They have their headsets on, they're in front of their screens, and the AI is really acting as like an individual tutor for those students, allowing those students that can progress faster to do that. Those who need a little catch-up, it refeeds information to them. And so after those 2 hours of learning, the basics of what they're doing in their curriculum that day, then they spend the rest of the day, they have good recess and all of that time, but then they spend the rest of the day in what are called life skills, and they're actually using the information that they've learned this morning. So I've seen some AI in action that is really proving quite beneficial.
Michael.
Thank you, Caroline. Secretary McMahon, as the Education Department continues to pare down, can you talk about taxpayer services like charter school grants and how the department will continue to assist kids with special needs?
Well, we are going to make sure that there's no interruption in getting that grant money out the door. I mean, that money is, it comes from Congress, it's appropriated by Congress, and we legally are obligated to do that. And the transitions we're starting to make, our first programs that went over to the Department of Labor, that was a few weeks ago. We actually signed the first interagency agreement, which we accomplished under the authority of the Economy Act. We transferred grants for WIOA and for the Perkins Act. And the really good news is that the Department of Labor has a much more sophisticated system, technology system and grant fulfilling system than the Department of Education does. As a matter of fact, our executive manager that went over with that group over to labor said he would compare what the labor system is to education's like held together by bubble gum that is not connected to any other part. So we were able to get those grants out the door more smoothly, and states have actually better access for those systems than they do at the Department of Education. So that's a real bonus.
A couple more. Carrie, go ahead.
As part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion new regulations that came out from the administrations, a lot of schools, whether high school or even higher education is concerned, some of them are defying these new administration policies, even apparently according to a new report.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
As far as there's been a new report from the administration saying that half of medical schools are defying the administration when it comes to DEI policies. What type of action will the administration take for these schools that are defying the new DEI policies?
Well, certainly the president has been very clear, and the Department of Education has taken measures to make sure that as schools are developing, their policies, or if they have open DEI offices, they're closed, or DEI regulations and rules are stripped, from their programs, and so that will continue.
We'll take one more. Go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. Secretary McMahon, my question is, since you said 3 out of 10 students are literate with regard to their reading capacity, would now the states help to improve those numbers since you've gone back to the states?
Well, what we are finding that the states that are making great progress, it's through their own innovation. It's not coming from the Department of Education. I think the Department of Education is really misunderstood about what our function is. We don't teach one student. We have nothing to do with the curriculum that are in any states. We are a pass-through pathway from money that's appropriated by Congress to get to the states. But what we have seen in those states that have taken that initiative, and they are embracing the science of reading and returning that into their school programs. Louisiana has done it. Mississippi, they call it the Mississippi Miracle, because they were like, I think, bottom or next to last in reading proficiency in Mississippi. And now they're like middle of the pack, which has been a really big jump. Florida has, Iowa has, Tennessee. So, but these are innovations that are done at the state level. This is not anything we're dictating, and that's why I'm saying returning education to the states, where they really are already leading in their education endeavors, and 90% of their budget they provide. The federal government only provides 8 to 10% of the budget for education. So let's make sure that that grant money that's coming from the federal government is getting in their hands as efficiently as possible and getting to students. We don't want teachers having to spend their time and money in regulatory compliance. There was one superintendent chief who said to me that they had done some calculation in their state, and that for every dollar that went into the classroom in a grant, 47 cents was spent in regulatory compliance. So let's get the money into the hands of our students and our teachers. Let's raise the level of education. The other thing I'll do, and I'll quickly wrap up for you, is this 50-state tour that I have embarked on. We've done about 14 states. We've shut down a little bit during the shutdown. But what I am doing is visiting different kinds of schools, grammar schools, middle schools, high schools, micro schools, private schools, charter schools, the whole gambit. And in the end, my goal will be, as we step away and fully deliver education back to the states, is to provide them with a best practices toolkit of all of the things that I have seen around the country to say, hey, this is working. Check with these superintendents, check with these governors. And you know what I found a little bit is governors are a little competitive. So it's kind of nice to give some of these best practices out there. It'll work because it's already working. If we leave it with the people who are closest to the students, the president believes, as do I, the best education is that's closest to the child, and parents' involvement is critical to the success.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. I appreciate your coming today. Thanks for your great work. And
Thank
she's
you all very much.
a busy lady, so we'll let her get back to work.
All right. Thank you again. Well, let's get to it. You guys were so calm with her. I wish you were that calm with me. We'll kick off with our new media seat, as always. Javier, why don't you start us off, and then we'll get to the rest of the room. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Javier Negre. I'm from Spain. I'm the owner of the biggest media platform in Hispanic politics with brands like La
Thank you, Tunnel Hill Cowboy. 5 subscriptions to the MG Show. Thank you.
In Spanish. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks for supporting the new media, also in the Hispanic community. We try to fight against medias like Telemundo, Univision, CNN, or NBC News that are spreading fake news and attacking the ICE operations. We will premiere this Sunday the Real America's Voice, the right new show, the first Hispanic show against communism and woke culture that is promoted by people like George Soros to bring communism all over the world, like happened in New York. I have 2 questions for you, if you don't mind. In Mexico, the young people is protesting against President Sheinbaum. They think she's doing nothing against the cartels. Sheinbaum used the police to attack them, young people, kids, girls, and she's attacking journalists like me in a country where 150 journalists have been killed in the past years. The USA legacy media is attacking President Trump for his comments about the fake news media, while they are not publishing anything about the murders of journalists in Mexico. Why do you think they stay silent about the murders of journalists in Mexico and the attacks to businessmen like Ricardo Salinas? And my second question is, Trump said he has a plan for the narco state of Venezuela. Does he have a plan for Mexico where, according to Stephen Miller, the cartels are controlling governments and territories?
Sure. Well, thank you, Javier, for the question, and thank you again for being here. We're proud to have new media voices in the briefing room. As for President Sheinbaum and the president's relationship with Mexico, I will tell you that we have seen historic strides from President Sheinbaum and her administration in Mexico when it comes to cracking down on the cartels. They have been incredibly cooperative with the president's efforts at our southern border to crack down on illegal immigration and also the illegal trafficking of drugs at the southern border. Now the president is very interested in taking additional measures against the drug cartels. He's been very clear about that. He's spoken about it, and this is a promise that he made to the American public. And so his national security team is discussing these options all of the time. And on the campaign trail, the president promised to take on the cartels. He has taken unprecedented action to do so, and he has left additional options at his disposal on the table. So those are only decisions that the president can make. Thank you.
What about the silence of the legacy media about the murders of journalists in Mexico? 150 journalists have been killed in the past years.
Yeah, well, it's certainly something I wish the media would report on more, and it's something that this administration absolutely condemns. I can't speak for the media, but I can speak for the president. That's not something he wants to see. Thank you. Sure.
Thank you, Caroline. Is there anything that Mayor-elect Mamdani could say tomorrow that would ease the president's concerns about his future leadership in New York?
Look, I don't want to speak for the president or get ahead of this meeting that we are currently working on tomorrow. As you saw, the president put out a statement tomorrow that the mayor-elect will be coming to the Oval Office, and so our teams are arranging those details. I won't get into the president's thinking on it. I think you'll all hear from him directly. I also think I will just add, it speaks volumes that tomorrow we have a communist coming to the White House because that's who the Democrat Party elected as the mayor of the largest city in the country. I think it's very telling, but I also think it speaks to the fact that President Trump is willing to meet with anyone and talk to anyone and to try to do what's right on behalf of the American people, whether they live in blue states or red states or blue cities, in a city that's becoming much more left than I think this president ever anticipated in his many years of living in New York himself.
Nancy.
Thanks, Caroline. This morning, President Trump accused 6 Democratic lawmakers of seditious behavior punishable by death. Just
here we go.
Does the president want to execute members of Congress?
Yes.
Let's be clear about what the president is responding to, because many in this room want to talk about the president.
I mean, Shady, did you hear that question?
For the nice lady, he's making reference to any numbnut that decides to disobey a direct order. Just so you know what he means by what he says.
Brought the president to responding in this way. You have sitting members of the United States Congress who conspired together to orchestrate a video message to members of the United States military, to active duty service members, to members of the national security apparatus, encouraging them to defy the president's lawful orders. The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed. It can lead to chaos. And that's what these members of Congress who swore an oath to abide by the Constitution are essentially encouraging. We have 1.3 active duty service members in this country. And if they hear this radical message from sitting members of Congress, that could inspire chaos and it could incite violence and it certainly could disrupt the chain of command. These 3 members of Congress, I will also add, knew exactly what they were doing. You look at Alyssa Slotkin. She's a former member of the CIA. Mark Kelly was a captain in the U.S. Navy. Maggie Goodlander was a naval officer. And notably, she is also the wife of Joe Biden's national security former advisor, Jake Sullivan. And so these members knew what they were doing. They were leading into their credentials as former members of our military, as veterans, as former members of the national security apparatus to signal to people serving under this commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, that you can defy him and you can betray your oath of office. That is a very, very dangerous message, and it perhaps is punishable by law. I'm not a lawyer. I'll leave that to the Department of Justice and the Department of War to decide.
But the president has frequently, but Caroline, can I just follow up? The president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members?
That's not what he said. These people are insane.
I knew they were going to do this. This is exactly what they were going to do.
Wow.
Because they have to make themselves the story. They have to make themselves the victim because of the big, bad boogeyman Trump. When in all reality, Donald Trump is doing something productive for you that they don't want to happen.
And meanwhile, we've got Democrat governors and Democrat people on, in their states saying refusing ICE agents and federal investigations, telling them to impede them and help people that are here illegally. I mean, you guys, the Democrats are lost, Shady Groove, lost.
I think I might be starting to understand why we had to up the capacity at Guantanamo Bay.
Here we go.
And by the way, it hasn't happened yet. Whatever the reason for that is, it's not happened yet.
But Caroline, can I just follow up? The president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence? They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
Actually, every single can refuse an illegal order, which
but they're suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not. Every single order that is given to this United States military by this commander-in-chief and through this chain of command, through the Secretary of War, is lawful. And the courts have proven that. This administration has an unparalleled record at the Supreme Court because we are following the laws. We don't defy court orders. We do things by the books. And to suggest and encourage that active duty service members defy the chain of command is a very dangerous thing for sitting members of Congress to do. And they should be held accountable. And that's what the president wants to do.
Yes.
Phil.
Real quick, let's ask the chats. Press 47 if you think they should be held accountable for their BS narrative. Let's go. Let's see. Should these people, sitting members of Congress, be held accountable? Press 47.
Thank you. Ambassador Mike Huckabee had a meeting with Jonathan Pollard, a former U.S. citizen who was convicted and spent 3 decades in jail for selling state secrets to Israel. Did the White House know that that meeting was going to happen? Does the administration condone it?
The White House was not aware of that meeting, but the president stands by our ambassador, Mike Huckabee, and all that he's doing for the United States and Israel.
You said that the president was going to do what was right for U.S. citizens, regardless of whether they lived in blue or red states. I'm curious if there's any chance in tomorrow's meeting with Mayor-elect Mamdani that he will be able to convince the president to abandon that promise to cut off federal funding to New York City.
Look, Phil, we'll see how the meeting goes tomorrow, and I'll let the president speak for himself. Natalie.
Thank you, Caroline. What did the president mean when he called a reporter piggy?
Look, the president is very frank and honest with everyone in this room. You've all seen it yourself. You've all experienced it yourselves. And I think it's one of the many reasons that the American people reelected this president, because of his frankness. And he calls out fake news when he sees it. He gets frustrated with reporters when you lie about him, when you spread fake news about him and his administration. But he also is the most transparent president in history. And he gives all of you in this room, as you all know, unprecedented access. You are in the Oval Office almost every day asking the president questions. And so I think the president being frank and open and honest to your faces rather than hiding behind your backs is frankly a lot more respectful than what you saw in the last administration, where you had a president who lied to your face and then didn't speak to you for weeks and hid upstairs and didn't take your questions. So I think everyone in this room should appreciate the frankness and the openness that you get from President Trump on a near daily basis.
And
go ahead.
As a follow-up,
yes.
The Washington Post just reported that the Coast Guard has.
I'm calling on Bloomberg. Go ahead.
Caroline,
thank you.
2 questions for you. The New York Times is reporting that the administration is now sending a U.S. official to the G20. They're sending Mark Dillard. Can you confirm if that is true, and then also explain the shift in?
I'd be happy to explain, because there is not a shift. The United States is not participating in official talks at the G20 in South Africa. I saw the South African president running his mouth a little bit against the United States and the president of the United States earlier today, and that language is not appreciated by the president or his team. The ambassador or the representative of the embassy in South Africa is simply there to recognize that the United States will be the host of the G20. They are receiving that send-off at the end of the event. They are not there to participate in official talks, despite what the South African president is falsely claiming.
On Ukraine, there have been reports that President Zelensky said, he's looking to look at the plan, that there's been reports about the Trump administration proposing a plan. Can you just give an update on where Russia-Ukraine stands, and does the president plan to speak with Zelensky anytime soon, or when do you expect that?
So I'm happy to provide an update. I've seen quite a bit of reporting on the latest with Russia-Ukraine, so let me clarify and give you guys the truth on where it currently stands. President Trump has made it very clear since day one, and even on the campaign trail, that he wants to see this war come to an end. He has grown increasingly frustrated with both sides of this war, Russia and Ukraine alike, for their refusal to commit to a peace agreement. But nevertheless, the president and his national security team are steadfast in seeing this war come to an end, to end the killing and deliver on the president's promise. Special Envoy Witkoff, that Marco Rubio, have been working on a plan quietly for about the last month. They've been engaging with both sides, Russia and Ukraine, equally, to understand what these countries would commit to in order to see a lasting and durable peace. That's how you get to a peace negotiation, right? That's how it worked with Israel, with respect to Israel and Gaza and all of the Arab countries in the Middle East. That's how we accomplished that historic agreement, which the UN, by the way, voted to commit to and accept this week, which was a huge monumental moment. So they have been engaged with both sides, and these talks are continuing. As always, I'm not going to litigate the details of this plan as it's ongoing and it's in flux, but the president supports this plan. It's a good plan for both Russia and Ukraine, and we believe that it should be acceptable to both sides, and we're working very hard to get it done. And I'll also add, I know Secretary Driscoll did meet with President Zelensky today. We spoke with him. He was very optimistic following that meeting. And so, again, we are having good conversations with both sides with respect to ending this war.
Caroline?
Sure.
Go ahead.
On Ukraine, you said this is a good plan. So according to our sources, this proposal demands major concessions from Ukraine and doesn't demand much from Russia. So was Russia involved in drafting
Your
this?
understanding is wrong. Have you read the full plan? You haven't.
Sources said.
Yes.
So if you can give details, maybe.
You've read reporting from one side of the war. And so I want you to understand that the administration has talked equally with both sides. You have seen President Trump engage directly with both President Putin and President Zelensky. Likewise, his national security team has as well. In fact, Special Envoy Witkoff and Secretary Rubio met with some of the Ukrainians just in the past week to discuss this very plan. And so just like you saw with respect to Israel and Gaza, we are hearing out both sides of this war to understand what can you commit to end the war. And that's ultimately how we are going to get to an agreeable solution. That's what the president has directed of his team. I know there's a lot of criticism out there and a lot of doubters, but I would just remind you of the historic success that this president and his team accomplished in the Middle East. We believe that is possible with Russia and Ukraine, and we're hoping and working very hard to achieve that. Stephen.
Could you provide a little more context on what to expect tomorrow with the Mamdani meeting? Will it be in the Oval Office, or is it going to be open at least partially to the press?
I don't have any more details to read out for you on the meeting quite yet, Stephen. I know it's of great interest to you and the New York Post, but we'll keep, maybe if it opens, we can commit to letting you in. Sure, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. It came up yesterday during a confirmation hearing for the president's pick to lead the CFTC that the CFTC currently has 0 Democrat commissioners, whereas usually it's had 2 or more. Does the president plan to appoint Democrats to financial regulators like the CFTC and SEC, or does the president feel that there shouldn't be Democrat leadership at those agencies, consistent with the administration's move earlier this year to remove Democrats from the FTC and other agencies?
I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't spoken to the president about the CFTC in quite some time, but I'm happy to check in with our presidential personnel office and see if there's any updates that we can provide you there. Sure.
Thank you, Caroline. Last week on Fox News, President Trump said that we've had a lot of problems with the French. How would you describe the current relationship between France and the U.S.?
The relationship remains very strong. President Trump speaks quite frequently with Emmanuel Macron. I think they have a good working relationship. But the president is not shy to point out when he has disagreements with world leaders as well. And he's done that with respect to Mr. Macron as well. Deanna, go ahead.
Caroline, there are reports that Qatar is acting as a mediator in the Ukraine peace process. Can you confirm that, and why did the president choose that country?
I'm not going to get into further details other than what I previously shared, which I think was quite a bit of information. Brian?
Thank you, Caroline. 2 questions. We were talking about earlier in this briefing about the president's orders. You were going back and forth about what the ad said, what it didn't say. My first question is
the ad,
the advertisement that the Senate Democrats were featured in. So the first question is, no matter what the order is, it could be to any administration official, military or otherwise, no matter if legal experts might think it's illegal, does the president expect those cabinet members, administrative officials to go ahead with those orders regardless of any outside thinking or experts?
The president expects his cabinet officials in the administration to follow the law and to demand accountability and hold people accountable for their dangerous rhetoric. And I would just add that if this were Republican members of Congress who were encouraging members of the military and members of our United States government to defy orders from the president and from the chain of command, this entire room would be up in arms. But instead, it is the other way around, and I think that's quite telling. I'm going to let you all go because the president, excuse me, I appreciate the encouragement this afternoon, but President Trump is about to meet in minutes with Israeli hostages who this administration freed, and so I'm going to go up to that meeting, and you will hear more about that later. Thank you.
Good Lord. You misquoted Democrats, blah, 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 blah. We won, okay? Trump won, press. Instead of asking, why didn't he come? How about talk about his amazing accomplishments? How about asking, how's that going to impact the American people? Because, it was amazing that President Trump did all that with Saudi Arabia. How about any of that? How about being positive about your president, huh?
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, a man can dream, Shady Groove.
You really can. Well, you're like really shooting for the stars with that one. That's
shooting for the stars. What am I, Jake Lang?
Here.
Swinging for the stars. All right, guys, we love you very much. It is Thursday. That is our day today, Shady Groove. We are out of here, but let me just see what I got over here. We got this one right here. Let's get out of here with this because it's very important that you guys understand about Rumble and Perplexity. Looking for smarter ways to browse and enjoy your favorite content without ads? Get Perplexity Pro bundle with Rumble Premium for just $19.99 a month when you sign up before December 31st. So it's important that you do it now, and that's normally a $29.99 value. The Rumble Premium, you'll get an ad-free viewing experience across all your devices and access to exclusive premium content. No interruptions. And just the videos and streams that you love anytime, anywhere. Plus, Perplexity Pro boosts your productivity with unlimited research, unlimited uploads, exclusive membership perks, and access to the latest and most advanced AI models for faster, smarter answers every day. Save over 30% on this powerful bundle. Head over to rumble.com/premium before December 31st to sign up and unlock your premium experience, guys. Shady.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you again for supporting independent patriot journalism. What you're going to see in the future is that there is not very many people that are actually going to come out here and pick up a microphone and stand and defend Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, most of the people that have come to pick up a microphone are going to do exactly the opposite. They are on the cusp of doing it right now. So as your friends get caught up in the Kool-Aid, the PSYOP, the soup Kool-Aid, send them over here and we'll straighten them out one by one.
Right? It's crazy. And we're going to get out of here with some 80s rock. Shady Groove, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Love you. What's that?
I said, let's go.
Oh, let's do it. Let's get out of here. Here it is. Here we go. Yeah.
Tricks and shaded, meaner than a guillotine. They
my gosh, that's good. We'll see you guys tomorrow. www.mg.show. Boom.